Billy Batson, also known as Shazam, from the DC Extended Universe, is a very interesting character to power scale, and depending on your philosophy, he could be a top tier in the verse or pretty fodder. As many of you know already, the DC Extended Universe is a very powerful film universe overall, and Shazam continues to build on the foundation that was established in Man of Steel. As we always do, we will be covering the strength, durability, speed, weaknesses, and every other awesome power of Shazam, but since this character is a little bit unique, we will be covering all of these powers in the order that they appear in the name Shazam. So with that being said, let's get started. Just as in the original comics, Billy was chosen by the last living wizard, Shazam, to wield his incredible power to protect the Earth. The wizard gifted Billy with the power of 6 legends, as well as the ability to wield the living lightning, a power that would transform him into the champion Shazam. Billy's true form is just a child and is not imbued with any special abilities, but after speaking the wizard's name, the living lightning crashes down from the heavens, transforming Billy into an adult version of himself at his full potential. Because this transformation requires him to be touched by the lightning, it could be perceived as a disadvantage, but Billy was able to use the lightning as a powerful attack multiple times. As I said, when Billy is finally struck with the living lightning, he is imbued with all the powers of the wizard Shazam, and these amazing powers come from 6 distinct sources that spell out the word Shazam. The S stands for Solomon's Wisdom. This ability is used very subtly throughout the film, and 2 specific cases that stood out to me were when Shazam was able to figure out that he could not only give his incredible power to his family, but that he was able to share it with them while retaining his own power. And during the final battle against Dr. Sivana, he was able to use Solomon's Wisdom to determine which of the 7 deadly sins was still hiding within Sivana, and how he could coax it out, making Sivana vulnerable to attacks. Additionally, Billy himself is a very clever fighter, using the living lightning to vanish into the crowd to escape Sivana, and throughout the final battle against the 7 deadly sins and their master. The H stands for Hercules' strength, and while harnessing the strength of Hercules, Shazam lifts a large truck high into the air before dropping it in front of the school bullies. According to the Internet Movie Cars database, this is a Ford F-150 SVT Raptor, which weighs up to 6,100 pounds. He also has some other minor strength feats like tossing around thugs, punching clean through concrete pillars, flicking a metal barrel dozens of feet with his finger, and he was able to catch a bus after accidentally causing it to lose control and then careen through the concrete barriers on an overpass. And according to those lovely people at the Internet Movie Cars database, this is a 1999 New Flyer D40LF. Which weighs approximately 27,500 pounds, not including the passengers inside. So not only was Shazam able to catch this thing, but he was able to keep it above his head for like 10 to 15 seconds before finally setting it down. But Shazam's most Herculean feat of strength came from Pedro, who was able to support a Ferris wheel, preventing it from toppling over during the final battle against the 7 deadly sins. Next we have the first A in Shazam, which represents Atlas's stamina. The stamina of Atlas grants Shazam amazing endurance and durability, and in case you missed it during World History class, Atlas was a Titan condemned to hold up the celestial heavens for eternity. Throughout the film, Shazam displays incredible feats of endurance. He's entirely bulletproof. We see bullets bounce off of his chest, and even point-blank shots to the face have little effect. A baseball bat shatters when struck across his chest. He breaks an axe while trying to cut his arm. He's entirely fireproof, and he was punched through multiple buildings and even through solid asphalt and concrete. All of this did nothing to Shazam, and it's implied throughout the film that the weapons of man have no effect on Billy, which is pretty consistent. Director David Sandberg even expands on this during an interview which can be found in the special features.
Since Shazam and Sivana both possess magic, the only thing that can hurt them is each other. You can only fight magic with magic.
But Shazam is not indestructible, and we'll get to that when we cover his weaknesses. But before that, let's finish the powers of Shazam. We're on to the Z, which stands for the power of Zeus.
Hands, lightning with my hands, lightning with my hands, lightning with my hands.
With this power, Shazam can fire off incredible bolts of lightning that deal devastating damage, and can even charge phones with the right amount of focused energy. During the course of the film, Shazam is shown using the power of Zeus to battle adversaries and even make a few bucks performing at the Rocky Steps. But how powerful are these lightning attacks? Well, we know that this is the power of Zeus, and luckily we know how powerful Zeus was in the DC Extended Universe, as we've heard stories about him and have seen him in action. The first time we hear anything about Zeus, he was hanging out with the boys on Mount Olympus, casually creating the human race along with the Amazonians. During the battle against Steppenwolf, Zeus uses his incredible lightning to stagger the new god, forcing him to retreat along with the help of his fellow old gods. Not only was he able to help drive Steppenwolf off of Earth, but he was also able to destroy the Mother Box Unity. This same exact feat took the combined strength of Superman and Cyborg during Steppenwolf's second invasion. Years later, Zeus defeated Ares and left him wounded and weakened for millennia. However, Zeus was mortally weakened by Ares as well, and with his dying breath, Zeus created Themyscira and shrouded it with a magical barrier that would keep the Amazons hidden until his daughter, Diana, was old enough to defeat Ares. While Shazam doesn't do anything this crazy with the lightning, wielding this power instantly puts Shazam in the upper echelon of the DC Extended Universe, as Zeus's lightning is on par with the Justice League and could even kill old gods. Once Shazam realizes his full potential, he'll fit right in next to Superman in terms of power. The second A in Shazam is for the Courage of Achilles, and if you saw the movie, you know this may not be the strongest of Billy's abilities. For the majority of the film, Billy runs scared away from Savannah, and was even scared to catch the bus before he had no choice but to do it. However, he does show some amazing courage throughout the film as well. During the convenience store scene, he bravely takes on two armed thugs when he didn't even know that he was invulnerable. And even after being shot in the chest, he asks them to shoot him in the face to test his durability. While this may not be the smartest thing he's ever done, it certainly took courage. Additionally, during the final confrontation, he finally stands up to Savannah, sacrificing himself to Savannah before being rescued by his family, and later he even volunteers to take on Savannah alone, while his family dealt with the much weaker Seven Deadly Sins. In the special features of the film, Zachary Levi actually refers to the power associated with Achilles as the fighting abilities of Achilles multiple times. So he may have inherited courage as well as combat skill from Achilles, although I think this slip-up is just that. A mistake they made and just let Zachary go along with, as Shazam does not show any skill feats during the entire film. Finally, we have M, which is represented by the speed of Mercury. In his first transformation, he blitzes a would-be purse snatcher in under a second from across the park. During Billy's superpower test montage, he and Freddy take a break to play Mortal Kombat, where Shazam can be seen using his super speed to destroy Freddy. Later on, he saves his sister Mary from being hit by a truck, and after accidentally blowing out the tires of a bus, he speeds over to stop it from falling. All of this is pretty impressive, but the person who uses the speed of Mercury the most is little Darla. After being transformed into an adult version of herself, Billy shares his speed with her, and she is not shy about using it. Seconds after receiving this power, she shows it off in what are definitely the most impressive speed feats in the entire film. She dodges Savannah's lightning point blank and then her brother's immediately after this. Dodging point-blank lightning is no joke, and keep in mind that Darla was using a fraction of Billy's total power. According to the High Energy Astrophysics Division at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, the average speed of lightning is Mach 1294, which puts Darla and Billy at what we call in the power scaling community massively hypersonic plus. It's not bad for a little kid's first attempt at hyperspeed, and throughout the final fight, Darla is seen moving faster than any of her siblings or even the 7 deadly sins could perceive, so it's pretty consistent for she and Billy to be faster than the other members of the Shazam family or the individual sins. To add another layer to his speed, in the comic books, Mercury is the avatar for the Greek god Hermes. So if we assume that this is also the case in the films and say Mercury at a low ball is at least relative to Zeus and Ares, we can easily scale weakened old gods to Wonder Woman, who scales to Batman v Superman, who can travel and react faster than light. So assuming that Mercury is an avatar for Hermes, and Hermes is faster than Zeus, you can make a case that Shazam should be, at minimum, relative to the rest of the Justice League, and at an extreme highball, relative to Flash and Superman. To further this point, we've seen Steppenwolf, a character who is relative to Wonder Woman and Aquaman in speed, get tagged by Zeus's lightning. So you can even make a case that Zeus's lightning blasts are much, much faster than your everyday lightning bolt. But that scaling is super inconsistent, so for now, we'll just stick with the fact that Shazam is a casual lightning timer and massively hypersonic plus. So these are all the powers of Shazam as stated by the Wizard at the beginning of the film, but there are a few more that Billy has at his disposal, such as flight, which I can assume came from Zeus, as we've seen that he and Ares can both fly. Of course, Shazam also has the ability to share his power with his family through the Wizard's staff, and now that the staff has been destroyed, it's unknown whether or not the family will keep their abilities to transform indefinitely, or if Billy is able to still pass on his power. We do see a short that takes place after the film where the entire family is able to transform into their Shazam avatars at any point, so it's probably safe to say that they will be keeping this ability in the sequel. As for weaknesses, it seems that within this universe he doesn't have many. Dr. Sivana is able to hit him hard enough to cause him to bleed, and later states that only magic can extinguish magic, implying that Shazam cannot be hurt by the weapons of man, and again, David Sandberg confirms this in the special features. So at this time, there are only a handful of characters who could even hope to go up against Shazam: Enchantress, Wonder Woman through the use of her lasso and gauntlets, and that's about it. Unless you want to claim that Aquaman's trident is also powered by magic. Another odd weakness is how he's able to turn into Shazam. In the comics, it has been shown that even thinking the word can turn him into the champion, but Billy was unable to call the living lightning while underwater, despite the fact that the audience could clearly hear him saying Shazam while submerged. I guess Zeus just became hard of hearing after he died. I don't know. And those are the incredible powers of Shazam. Be sure to like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to see more. If you'd like to consider supporting the channel directly, you can become a member by clicking the join button down below. Be sure to follow us on all the social media you see on screen, join the Discord, and remember the motto, it's Shazam over everything, and I'll see you guys next time.